Okay, this is the only other vagina other than me on the lineup tonight. I love it when she comes down. She's one of my favorite people from Columbus, and she always makes me smile. Please give it up for my good friend, Ms. Leslie Battle.
That's the closest some of you guys are going to get to a fantasy tonight. Soak it up. I seem to be the minority on stage tonight because I'm a Texas native. What? Come on, y'all. We are way past back in the bus by now. It's 2013. Join me. Actually, I love coming down to Chillicothe because when I see the KKK, I don't get nervous anymore. Awesome. Oh, and Michael, baby, I'll play doctor with you anytime. Just putting it out there. I'll play doctor with you anytime. Just putting it out there. For those of you that don't know me, I'm 42 years old. My kids are 20, 16, and 12, and I've been divorced now for the past 3 years. So, you don't know what a midlife crisis looks like? Stay and everything. I really find it interesting. This particular type of clothing has like inserts in it. It's called boned, as opposed to me after my divorce, which was hosed. Just saying. It's really funny because I'm down with the swirl. My ex-husband's German-Irish dude, quite possibly the whitest white man in America. I say that because with him I had 2 blue-eyed babies. I'm not even exaggerating about that. I mean, this is the kind of dude that you guys would look at and be like, damn, dude, get some fucking sun. Go on a vacation or something. She's paying and shit. But it's funny though because, sometimes in interracial relationships, there's things that, people make assumptions about that you really shouldn't. Like, back in the day, I used to relax my hair and I'd have it straight and like curl it and dye it and do all this shit to it. And I'd always bitch about it. I'd go through all of this wasted energy and then I'd be complaining about I couldn't get my hair to do what I wanted to do. And so this one day I was bitching about it, and he's like, well, baby, I like your hair just the way it is. What the fuck, you ain't never seen my hair just the way it is. I don't know why, you're making assumptions. And then like 2, trying to keep things fresh in the marriage, because we were married almost 15 years. And, I was always asking, what are your fantasies, what do you want to do? And he'd never, tell me, and finally, like, we've been married for like 12 years, and he tells me he's got this slave master fantasy. Really, genius? I figured that shit out when you married a black chick. I just kind of figured that was part of the deal. And there was this other time our son was doing this genealogy assignment for school. And I have to explain to you, I grew up in the South. I seriously am a native from Texas. And my great-great-grandparents were slaves. Now, y'all barely outnumber me tonight. Maybe I could take you if I wanted to get vigilant with that. But if anybody, is interested in giving me reparations, I will take Jaeger bombs. I'm very open-minded about modern-day forgiveness. It's a new day. I can move past this. And I mean, honestly, this whole Paula Deen thing, really, can she kick anybody's ass? I mean, why? She said it, let's move past it, just do whatever, but that's really none of my business. And personally, I think black people should be more pissed off at her for the diabetes that she's given us. That's just my opinion. But it's funny, I love living in Ohio. Ohio's a really fun place to be. And, not the most culturally diverse place you can be. And it's really funny, I tend to be that safe black friend that people think they can ask anything. So, was it Patrick that was saying that middle-aged black women don't like the N-word? And I do. All my white friends will ask me, well, how do you feel about the N-word? Nymphomania? I'm a fan. I think more of us should engage in it more often. But that's just my opinion. But, like I said, I am single. And I have actually, I didn't want to admit it when Kim was asking the question, but I have dabbled in the whole online dating thing. And where are the lies to the fellas? When they're saying athletic body type, they don't mean sumo wrestler. Do me a favor. And move that on to average. And then, it's funny because, not a really vain person, but I get it. At 42 years old, after having all my babies, I can look a lot worse. And so on my profile, invariably, I'll get this email. It's like, okay, so what do you really look like? Okay, really, dude, I'm a 42-year-old construction worker named Al. I live in the Bronx. I get off on telling dudes that I'm a hot black chick. Next. But I have to admit, kind of dig white dudes. Like I said, down with this world. Again, bumping crowd here in Ohio, so, not an issue. And it's kind of easier when I can narrow down my dating preferences to Michaels, Andrews, and Stevens. I mean, I get it, everybody's baby in bed, I'm just saying, makes it easy, I don't have to worry about saying the wrong name. But I do like dating guys that are younger than me, because I'm 42, so everybody's younger than me. And at times I've been called a cougar. At first I was a little offended by that, but then I thought about it. Well, let's see. Cougars are brown, usually, and in places they're fuzzy, and sometimes they purr. And, yeah, on a good day, that does sound like me. So I figured maybe I should just take it for what it is, and not be, so crazy about it. But, sooner or later I gotta grow up. So a few weeks ago, I had a date with a 46-year-old. Okay, technically he was a set of 23-year-old twins.
Woo!
Trying. Actually, honestly, I haven't been in a dry spell. Haven't been dating all that much lately. And I've actually been kind of considering finding my inner lesbian because I seem to be the only person on the planet who's interested in being in love with me right now. Which makes dating easier because I take myself out on dates, so I only have to pay for one dinner, and there's not that whole awkward wondering if I'm going to put out later. Because I know me, I'm totally going to put out later. And it's fun. These man-sized hands make that a lot more realistic. Too much? Too soon? So I took myself out to dinner a couple weeks ago and got back to the apartment and put on some porn, because evidently that's what people do when they're dating. And I realized that I really couldn't honestly watch porn because I got a little too wrapped up in the decor. I was like, is that a slipcover on that couch? Yeah, I totally lost the point, I think. It's possible. But I'll tell you, having teenage kids is a good time. And one of the things that I did mention in introducing myself, and usually Lori introduces me this way too, I'm actually a 25-year veteran in the U.S. Army. And every once in a while, they will actually let me handle a weapon, and I don't mean it in an appropriate way. Get your minds out of the gutter. But it's fun because, like when my oldest son was a teenager, he's going through that losing his whole mind thing, I could come up with some really creative ways to threaten his ass. Because, he would try to trip on me or whatever. It's like, really, son? Don't you remember that video of me shooting a grenade launcher? Of all the moms you know, you want to fuck with this one. You can try. And it's funny because people are like, oh, well, aren't you concerned, that your son might have a problem with you dating somebody the same age as him? Maybe he should have come home all the time that night. Payback's a bitch. Or so I've been told. But I've got some advice for dating. I've, managed to learn a few things here and there. And I think that we all can take this to heart. Think about dating like doing crossword puzzles. Every once in a while, you need to do an easy one to keep your confidence up. I'm telling you, don't get discouraged. Keep going. Keep it going. But Kim, you're talking about Kanye West and was that? I don't know why when a celebrity gets pregnant, everybody acts like, that's the only person who's ever done this ever. And it was really funny because, Kim's not that tall of a girl. And everybody's just like, oh, she's putting on all this weight and all this kind of stuff, as if she didn't have childbearing lips before she got pregnant. Really? She thought nothing else on her was going to swell up when those hormones kicked in. And yeah, everybody's all upset about the name of the baby North. I don't understand why. Well, I guess black people are pissed because they didn't spell it with an F. Personally, I think they need to have another baby and name it South and start marketing the little bitches to the airplane companies. That's my take on it. Somebody ought to have a profit from it. And of course, Blue Ivy's sitting there like, you bitch, take my spotlight. Because that's how celebrity babies act. They do that from birth. But, oh goodness. Life has been really interesting for me. I've gotten to do a lot of things that I wouldn't have gotten to do if I hadn't joined the Army. And it's really funny though, because sometimes when I'm talking to somebody like in a first conversation, it's like, yeah, I've been to Europe and I've got a fire grenade launcher, all this kind of stuff. And I know they're sitting there going, like, this bitch is so full of shit. I don't know. I would hope they would tell me. And then, when I wonder about being single, I've had to give that some thought too, because the reality of it is, what guy wants to be with a woman that he knows is combat trained but still gets her period? Because I can tell you, I was thinking about it one day. I had to make a stop off at Walgreens, and this guy came by me in the feminine hygiene aisle when I'm in the ACUs, and he was just like, shit. Sorry, you didn't get a stereo. But I tell you, like I said, I do date white men almost exclusively. And it's really funny. I am attracted to white men, but also I kind of feel like it's my civic duty, giving back to my community, because it's my turn to keep the man down for a change. Just saying. Can be fun. Give it a chance. Oh, goodness, let's see. Lori, I think that's going to be it for me tonight. Okay. I had another thing that I thought of, and of course I'm having brain rot. But hey, everybody, thanks for hanging in there and enjoying this long show. Thanks for the folks who came up from Cincinnati and all their parts. Appreciate it. And thank you to our hostess with the Moses, the Glory Grace.
Woo!
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Leslie Battle.
Woo!